Okay, in this presentation, I'm going to show you some of the results that in the Laboratory of Forest Geomatics at the University of Florence, where Professor Chirici is the scientific coordinator, we are done to implement this data in a decisional support system that works at different spatial scale. These are the result of many of the projects. I'm going to talk more about BForest, that is a project financed by the GALSTART at the measure of the National Rural Development Plan here in Tuscany. But we are also other projects at the European level, more or less related to the same aspect that I'm going to show you. When we talk about forest decision support system, we need to know that they are really important to implement sustainable forest management, especially in that area where we have small scale properties that are the one that are more represented in the south part of Europe. So we have these very fragmented properties, and we need to reduce the cost of acquiring information related to the state of forest ecosystem in order to give to forest owners the possibility to implement a sustainable forest management plan, biodiversity conservation, and other important issues related to the quantification of forest ecosystem services. So we need to give them the possibility to extract from easy tools that are usually online, information related to quantitative variables related to forest ecosystems, such as growing stock volume, biomass, but also information related to biodiversity indicator and forest health. In Italy, we have a very huge problem that is related with the availability of data related to field plots. We publish a paper related that is published in iForest that you saw here, where we don't have, for example, the full coverage of LiDAR data that is important when we would like to spatialize, for example, biomass of growing stock indicator. But we can use other types of data that can be help us to give also in absence of this high resolution 3D data, some information. And also we need to develop some easy tools that can be used to query data and to give to forest owner the possibility to extract some report related to their properties. So when we talk about decision support system in forest, we need to understand the scale of the decision support system. We can develop a global scale decision support system, so the scale of the data that we are going to implement in the query system can be also not really accurate in terms of spatial scale. So we can download, for example, 30 meters information or higher than 30 meters. When we talk about the regional and national scale, we need before understand the variability of regional and national scale in order to have some model and some data that could be spatialized or modeled differently from, for example, mountain area and comparing to the coast area. So we need to understand the scale of regional scale and if we are able to implement one or more than one model. Then we have a local scale decision support system that work in an area of a region at province level, for example, or local scale that are for large forest properties where each forest owner can have his decisional support system. In this project BForest, we are working and create a decisional support system that work in two different models, one for forest properties where each properties will have his own decisional support system, and what that will work at regional level where the model gives some information using data that are public data. So in this decisional support system, we implement very different types of information that are derived from different remote sensing data, especially optical data at the regional level. At regional level, we have implemented the growing stock volume map that was for 23 meter for 23 meter pixel that was derived by the integration of national forest inventory plots measuring the field in the context of the second national forest inventory plot in 2005, using Landsat data as predictor and climate data. Then we create a random forest model that was optimized for each bioregion, and we derived the map of growing stock volume in all Italy. However, this map is a fixed map of 2005, and we work to update it to give updating information during the decisional support system. So we model also, thanks also to the collaboration with CNR, the group of Maselli, also the map of mean annual growing stock increment in order to give the information about the increment of forest. This can help us to update the map and to give the possibility to the forest owner to extract this kind of information. Then we work also with Landsat, and then from 2015 also Sentinel-2 data to map the forest disturbance that were used to update the map of 2005. Because the decision support system is important, but we need to update the data in order to give to the forest owner information that are that are in time with the query that they will have in the system. So with the 3DI, 3D forest disturbance algorithm developed by Saverio Francini, we were able to detect the forest disturbances. And then with the approach proposed by Elia Vangi that are now in submission and that we present in another section yesterday, we were able also to update the carbon pool of this map in different years, and also to have the growing stock map for each year after the first inventory. This is because we don't have a third national forest inventory to have a multi-temporal model. Then this is the information that will be available in the regional model, and also there will available also information related to authorization procedure and other things related to GIS layer, as for example slope and elevation and other important aspects related to park areas or some Natura 2000 areas that for the people that query the information to have this of data related to the authorization procedure that they need to have to make some forest work in their area. But then we create also a forest properties model that is a decision support system for each of the partners that is involved in our project using high resolution remote sensing data. In this case, we use airborne laser scanner data and UAV 3D photogrammetric data in order to have a hybrid canopy height model, have the ability each year to, or each 3 years, to update the information related to forest indicators. These indicators are really important, not just for sustainable forest management, but also for biodiversity conservation and also for the certification process, because each year the forests that are certified need to give to the PFC or FSC some information related to some indicator that are derived directly from usually their forest management plan. In this case, we are able to update this information and give them the possibility to extract tree species composition, above ground biomass, carbon stock, forest damage, and defoliation. However, these data are all included in 2 different models that are available online. where people can just draw in column and have report and other geographic layer. The WebGIS interface is really easy, and the one related to the forest properties can also have the possibility to extract directly some schedule that are already in the right form that are requested by Tuscany region in the context of forest management plan. So they will have at the end of the 10 years, that is usually the times where the forest management plan is available, they can have already the record to represent another new forest management plan with all the information that are already organized in the same way and with the reports that are already in the right form. However, in the future, we can have also some adaptations thanks also to new advance in remote sensing, high resolution remote sensing, as for example, implementing the information that we can model using JEDI, that is the leader on the space that is on the space, and also using high resolution satellite data. Here is an example of a paper that we published with the first name of Saverio Francini, where we can see that with planet scope images, we can also detect clear cut and also the timing of clear cut. This could be used by forest owner, but also from the organization that are working to control the authorization of clear cut or something like this. So we can also use this high resolution data to implement in the decisional support system. Thank you for your attention, and I finish the presentation.